On the latest episode of Farmer Wants a Wife, one farmer is in hot pursuit of being pursued.
Just as you want to be pursued, as do I. Just as a man pursues a woman, so do I want to be pursued. Just as a man pursues a woman, so do I want to be pursued.
I'm Lizzie Frizzle. This is the Recap Corner. Let's talk about some TV.
Why don't we go get some wine? Make it a little more enjoyable.
Season 2, Episode 10 is called Final Solo Dates. Can you guess what happens in it? Farmer Ty takes Melody on a horse-drawn carriage ride, hoping to figure out if she's too much of a city girl to become a rural wife. Later, during a champagne picnic, Melody expertly combines two things Ty's been known to like: sass.
The sass? Just right.
And not wanting a baby.
Well, but you don't have that want or need to have your own.
I hate to say it to you, or I hate to break it to you, but usually I get what I want. So right now, I'll tell you, yeah, I'm okay with the bonus mom, but if I do want a kid and we're together, you're gonna give me one.
Yeah.
In Florida, Farmer Nathan takes Allie on the water and hopes to push them out of the friend zone by decorating the boat with heart-shaped inner tubes. They fish while he reminisces about his mom's water skiing skills.
My mom actually, she was really good. She used to always water ski and do the zigzags and the jumps and everything.
Okay, mama.
But instead of catching their dinner like Mitchell and Sydney did on their fishing date, that night Nathan and Allie eat steak for the 4th time in 10 episodes. On the beach under the moonlight, they finally exit the friend zone when Nathan puts his arm around Allie. Later, they bond about both wanting to be astronauts as kids.
I used to want to be an astronaut.
Really?
When I was 10.
Honestly, me too. It was always back and forth. It's I want to be a cowboy, I want to be an astronaut.
You could be both. Space cowboy.
Space cowboy.
Space cowboy.
Our relationship has progressed. It was two awkward people sitting on a tailgate at the very beginning, and now it's two people that are, looking for love.
Would that still have happened if Nathan's mom didn't tell him to take Allie on this date? In Tennessee, before her date with Farmer Mitchell, Kiana does canned bits with Sydney over breakfast.
Anybody want this apple cider? Is it poisoned? Maybe.
Why are they all wearing camo? Mitchell takes Kiana to a winery. He's glad to be with her because she goes with the flow.
I chose Kiana for my final solo date because I feel like she goes with the flow.
I'm kind of just trying to go up the flow.
But if they're to continue romantically, then Mitchell needs more.
But I want to have someone that can really dive into this relationship. Be yourself, stick your neck out there, do something that you wouldn't normally do.
Go running naked in a hailstorm, kiss a girl in the middle of the day, fly a kite, but do it for yourself.
Over wine, naturally, Kiana admits that watching Mitchell create connections with other contestants caused her to create distance in their relationship.
I don't know, I just noticed that I pulled back a little bit when I saw that you're making other connections with other women in the house.
Does it make you upset, I guess?
Why did he seem kind of happy about that? Mitchell encourages Kiana to be more active in competing for him because people only regret the things they didn't do, not the things they did. But I beg to differ. Last episode, I thought Kiana might be in trouble when Mitchell mentioned a vague negative about her as he described her to his family.
I want to see more of her being like, hey, we need to do this and that.
Engaging.
Yeah.
But I knew she was in trouble at the winery when she brought up weddings twice and Mitchell didn't respond either time.
I'm just having weddings here.
I love that they kept the old tree log that fell.
Oh, yeah. Do you think you'd have a wedding at a winery?
Then he doesn't kiss her at the end of their date, which he refers to as hanging out.
I really appreciate you hanging out with me today.
Sydney says later in the episode that Mitchell's behavior usually gives away who he plans to eliminate. Bad news for people named Kiana. In Colorado, Farmer Brandon brings joy to his family's cabin where a chocolate fountain is set up so she can finally take a bath.
I love chocolate. I could bathe in chocolate.
So what do you want to dip in the chocolate? Let's grab a few
Pretty
things.
much just my whole body.
After a boring toast met with an over-the-top response.
To really good second dates.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm Joy.
Brandon tells Joy about his family's opinion of her after the farm-to-table feast.
You were a favorite of some.
Why would he phrase it like that? Also, was Joy someone's favorite? Or did his friend Carlos just notice that she's Brandon's favorite and he wants his friend to be happy? Or is Brandon just talking about himself? As he enjoyed drink wine on the floor, Brandon retcons their terrible first solo date.
Our first date was good.
He's gonna need to retcon this one too, because once again, their visions for the future clash. On their first date, Joy shared that she wants at least 5 kids, while Brandon wants 2 at most. And now...
I think it would be my dream to
stay at home and take care of the family.
I'm kind of like pro have a job.
The man should be the main breadwinner, and the woman kind of should be treated like a princess, and they should treat their man like a prince.
The next day, Jennifer Nettles writes the farmers a letter explaining that soon they'll each travel to their final 2 contestants' hometowns to meet their families and friends. Because she's only ever introduced her family to one man, Joy is stressed out and surprised by the news, even though this is what happens at the end of pretty much every dating show with a Bachelor-style format.
Getting Jennifer's letter this morning really put things into perspective.
But before any hometowns are visited, the women tackle their final tasks on the farms. In Colorado, Brandon's contestants climb up a large piece of equipment to clean sand out of it. Emerson excels, Grace succeeds despite her fear of heights, and Joy, who chooses to work in a leather jacket, almost dies.
Oh God, I'm good. I saw my life flash before my eyes.
In Tennessee, Mitchell wants to thank his neighbor for helping him when he was new in town, so he brings his 3 remaining contestants who know nothing about farm work to Mr. Abernathy's farm to tag and worm cattle. Knowing a day of physical labor is ahead of them, Kiana, Kate, and Sydney change out of their protective camo gear and into their work clothes. I'd pay all the money the Golden Bachelor didn't get in his prenup to know what Mr. Abernathy was thinking when they got out of the car. After a traumatizing day on the farm,
Yeah, she's not cooperating great, is she?
Kate's concerned that her connection with Mitchell isn't as strong as his other contestants. But instead of unraveling like her sweater, she writes Mitchell a note asking to meet her for a private chat. He does, it goes well, and they kiss. But would that still have happened if Mitchell's mom didn't tell him Kate was her favorite? In Florida, instead of farm work, we see Mackenzie leave suddenly for the 2nd time after her dad's condition worsens. By default, Nathan's final 2 contestants become Allie and Taylor, the only 2 of the 5 women who moved onto his farm that didn't quit the show. Nathan says he'll always wonder if Mackenzie was the one, which has got to be encouraging to hear if you're the woman who did end up winning. Ty's farm isn't featured. That night, during the last suppers, the farmers must choose their final 2 contestants, at least the ones whose decisions haven't already been made for them. In Florida and Missouri, Nathan and Ty get verbal confirmation that their finalists want to be finalists because production couldn't think of another way to include them in the segment.
I guess I should ask, would you have me to New York?
Of course, I'd love for you to come to New York.
But just to clarify, I would love to be able to come meet your family, Allie, if you'll have me.
Yes, I would love to have you.
Here's to a little bit of traveling.
The way this season has gone, the show is lucky one of the women didn't take the opportunity to quit and abruptly leave their farmer with a de facto winner. In Tennessee, Mitchell pulls Kiana from the table to talk privately, which usually only means one thing on this show: she's eliminated. Mitchell explains that his relationships with the other contestants are stronger, partly because she didn't fight for him enough. Kiana says she's not used to competing for a man's attention.
You don't say.
As dinner begins in Colorado, Joy pulls Brandon from the table to talk privately, which usually only means one thing on this show: she's quitting. No wonder she set out 3 bottles of wine at a dinner for 4 people.
I have only ever taken one person home to my family, and it was somebody that I was completely in love with. I don't know if right now I'm ready for that step.
Okay.
I would continue this journey if I thought that we could get there.
So it's actually the fact that you just don't think that we can get there.
I don't think we can.
Okay.
After, Joy rehashes the situation to Grace and Emerson while Brandon looks like this in the background.
I just don't think that our connection is where it should be at. So I just thought it would be best that we, break it off now.
Then Brandon helps Joy lug her 3 suitcases and 2 bags into the car as she tells the camera that she never had romantic feelings for him. Always hoped she'd get them. Never did.
I respect Brandon so much as a friend. Keyword friend.
This means that of the 4 farmers, only Mitchell chose his final 2 contestants. Ashley, Mackenzie, Joy, all the other 3rd place finishers quit for various reasons.
Not great, Bob.
Brandon wonders if instead of focusing so heavily on Joy, he should have paid more attention to Annalise or Reba. Not mentioned, Brooklyn. For most of the season, I thought Joy was going to win, even though it seemed obvious that Brandon, someone who likes to say he wears his heart on his sleeve while touching his sleeve, was a bad match for someone who claims to be immune from emotions. But the only thing more obvious than Brandon and Joy's incompatibility was his infatuation with her. In the wise words of Lisa Kudrow,
"When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags."
With Joy out, will Brandon's winner be Emerson?
Emerson is very attractive.
Or Grace?
She's cute.
Whose hometown will make their farmer feel at home? What will happen at the reunion I can't believe is happening? We don't know yet. To find out, come back next week for another Farmer Wants a Wife recap. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.